And I'm Abby.
And today we're going to be talking about some high school advice that we wish we would have known while still in high school.
Hopefully you can use some of this and it'll help you be better prepared and you'll have a better experience.
So let's get started.
For tip number 1, we have make the most out of high school. And that's a pretty broad topic, but we definitely think that you guys should take advantage of the stuff that you have in school, especially like activities and clubs and getting involved, because you don't really have that later on in your life.
Yeah, you should get involved as soon as possible, because I know that Abby and I, we didn't really get involved in anything until
junior year.
Yeah, about junior year, which is way too long to wait to do things.
And when we finally did start getting involved, we realized we really liked it and we wish we would have stayed in longer and gotten to really enjoy it.
Yeah, and it also makes it go by a little faster. And I don't know if that, sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes that's a bad thing, because you don't want high school to go by too fast. But especially when I was super stressed out, it was nice to have other things to busy myself, because I didn't want to be like constantly stressing about homework.
It helps relieve the stress and keeps you happy and excited to go to school.
And you just meet new people if you get involved in more things. So
definitely.
Okay, so tip number 2 is prepare for college as soon as possible. This one is super important, I think, because it's just, there's so much to do when you're preparing for college, and if you don't start early on, then it's just really stressful later on down the road.
Well, you're not trying to say like as soon as you get into high school start stressing about it right away. Just look into it and slowly prepare and get ready for it, because if you wait until your senior year, then you're going to be really overwhelmed with everything and you won't feel like you're 100% ready.
I know that I was a really big procrastinator when it came to looking for scholarships, and I ended up not really getting any.
Yeah.
Which was super disappointing, because I worked really hard in high school, and it sucks now that I don't really have anything to show for that, except just knowing myself that I did.
Tip number 3, we have don't be disappointed in yourself. And it's really easy to get down on yourself or feel like you're not up to the standard that you want with your grades, but you have to remember that it's okay to not have an A+ in everything, and it's okay to not be perfect, because you're still developing, you're still learning and becoming who you are.
So this is something that I really struggled with during high school, and not necessarily like my grades, because I felt pretty confident about like how I was doing in school, and but the thing that I struggled with was just being disappointed in myself, like socially, and thinking that I was like not good enough for other people, and like just because you have like those popular groups, and I was kind of like in the middle, and I just didn't really know how I felt about it. But really, it doesn't matter at all. There's too many things there's too many opportunities in high school to feel like you're missing out. So I mean, just do what you want to do, and I'm sure you're gonna miss out on some things, but that's no reason to be disappointed with yourself.
Just focus on what you're already doing.
So tip number 4 is it's okay to be an introvert. And this is something that is so relatable to both Abby and I, because that was pretty much our whole high school experience. I mean, we were social and we had a good amount of friends, but sometimes this kind of relates back to the other one. I was disappointed with myself because I felt like I wasn't hanging out with enough people, and not enough people, like I didn't have enough followers on Instagram, like when really it doesn't matter at all. Like,
it's okay to be your own person, do your own thing. It doesn't matter if sometimes you just want to stay home at night and watch TV by yourself. You don't have to always go to those parties or go hang out with your friends all the time. You can do your own thing, and it's okay if you're not friends with everyone in your class. As long as you have your group of friends that you're comfortable with, then that's all you really need. Tip number 5 is don't overwork yourself or sacrifice your health for school or social
anything
stuff.
Really. Yeah, it's not worth it.
This was something that was super hard for Nicole and I. This was probably the biggest thing that we struggled with. We crammed our schedules and we tried to do everything that we could, and we ran ourselves down. We didn't get enough sleep. We didn't eat all the time. We'd like skip meals. We didn't have time for our homework and the things we wanted to do, our family, our friends. It was so hard to balance all that, and you definitely.
It just stresses me out thinking about senior year and all the things that, like all the effort and the things that we like crammed into our schedules, when sometimes we just needed to relax, but we never felt like we had time to relax, and we felt like we were constantly on a schedule, like I had to do this, this, and this, and there's no time for this,
And then you miss out on the things you enjoy. So I think that it's really important that you manage your time well and you balance everything out, or you're just gonna drive yourself crazy from all the work.
Now, if you don't remember anything from this video, just remember, manage your time. This will help you throughout the rest of your life. Okay, so tip number 6 is be with people that make you happy. I didn't have too much of a problem with this in high school because I have really good close friends, and I love my family. Absolutely is like so supportive of me, and so I don't really have a problem with this. But I know a lot of people do, and I remember when we were coming into high school, I was losing a lot of friends. Like so many, I thought, whoa, like what is wrong with me? Like why am I losing so many friends? But it's because people change, and I was changing, they were changing. There was no one really like at fault, but it's okay to change your friends.
Yeah, as you get older, you start to develop your passions and your interests, and so do your friends that you have when you were younger, and they go separate ways, and that's okay.
Yeah, sometimes they don't match up anymore. Another thing that we kind of want to tie into this is to let the petty things slide, because there's a lot of drama that comes with high school if you're in certain groups. I mean, we didn't have too much of it, thankfully, but sometimes there can be a lot, and it can really just weigh down on you, and really it doesn't matter. Like, are you really gonna care later on that, oh, she said that my shirt looked weird or something, you know? Like, I'm
just little things like that. It's not a big deal. Sometimes you just gotta let things go, and if it's a big problem, then maybe you have to let that person go from your life, but don't let the little things have a big impact. So tip number 7 is don't care about what people think. And that's kind of a cliche thing, but it's so easy to get wrapped up in what people think about you and how people perceive you. But it honestly doesn't matter. And I know people will tell you that all the time, and you're like, yeah, it still affects me.
It's definitely easier said than done.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was just like super caught up in what I looked like and my appearance, and I would just feel, if I would like look at other people and I'd be like, oh my goodness, like they look so much better than I do, and people are gonna notice, and they're gonna think that I look gross and that I'm ugly, and you know, like, but again, it doesn't matter.
It's so easy to compare yourself to others, but honestly, usually people are thinking the same thing that you are, like, oh, I don't look as good as her, or I wish I had her hair, or you know, like, everybody is kind of insecure in high school and they think about other people. But so if you just care about who you are and don't worry about that, you're just going to be so much happier.
Okay, so tip number 8 is grades don't define you. And this is super important, I think, because sometimes it's easy to worry too much about what your grades are and how that's going to affect you in the future.
When I was in high school, I got all A's. Like, that was just something that I wanted for myself, and that's what I strive for, until I took pre-calculus, and I did not get a good grade in that class, and it really bothered me. It was just something that I wasn't good at, and that class is an it's kind of an elective, right? You don't have to take it, but I chose to take it. I wanted to challenge myself, and I took it, and I was miserable the whole time. I hated it. It was so hard for me, and I was so upset about it because it really affected my GPA. But honestly, down the road, it's not gonna matter. You're not gonna be good at everything. So you're just gonna have to accept sometimes that you're not gonna get great grades, and that's okay as long as you try and give your full effort. Tip number 9 is to think before you act. It's really easy to just want to spur of the moment go and do something, and sometimes like you act a little rebellious in high school or want to try different things, but you want to think about what you're doing before you do it, because it could have consequences that have a big impact.
Especially if you're doing sports or something. I know that at our school, probably most schools, you get a code if you get caught drinking or if you get caught with any of those things, and then sometimes you can't even play that sport anymore. And if you're super passionate, like I'm super passionate about playing tennis, I love it so much. If that was taken away from me, I would just be absolutely miserable. Like I would be so disappointed with myself. And so that's why it's super important. Like, we're not saying don't have fun, like don't go and
try new things.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes like go and like have fun with your friends and like maybe like party or something. But it's really easy to make a mistake sometimes, and
you don't realize it until the consequences are already happening.
So, tip number 10 is that high school isn't the end, and this might be the most important one on here.
I've heard before that high school is the best 4 years of your life, and I definitely think that's
I hope not.
completely far from the truth, because yeah, high school is a fun time and you get to try out new things and meet people, but there's so much more to look forward to. This is just the beginning. This sets up your life, and as you get older, you experience more and you get to try new things and
meet new people.
It's
and
so much better. So don't get all wrapped up in thinking that this is the end and if
it's never gonna get better,
Yeah.
because it definitely does. Like, just trust us on that. High school, it's not the best time of your life, and like, we can be honest about that. It's stressful, and it's not always fun.
So sometimes you just gotta push through high school, but just think about the end. I mean, once you graduate and you get to move on and experience new things and go to college to do something that you're extremely passionate about, everything in high school will be worth it.
So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and you can take something away from it and use it throughout high school just to make a better experience for yourself.
These are just some things that we learned throughout our high school experience, but feel free to leave some comments down below if you guys have any advice from your high school.
And comment, rate, and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.
Bye!